It is your favorite Compas, and this is your Week 14 NFL Takeaways episode. You know we have plenty to say about Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, but Gilbert, here on Compas on the Beat, we don't just stick to football. What else should the listeners be expecting from today's program?
Yeah, Fernando, what a reminder there. What a good week for LA football. You know, Baker Mayfield came back, Justin Herbert quieting the critics down for a little bit. But like you mentioned, we're not all about football here, and it's time, Fernando, to take the famous words from Bruce Buffer from the UFC. It's okay to talk about Christmas now. It's time. It's okay for me. So we have plenty of Christmas topics here. I'm not a Grinch here. I'm even trying to do some giveaways on other shows. So
check out House of Horns.
Plug. But yes, we're going to be giving our favorite underrated Christmas villains and our favorite Christmas characters. Supposedly it's movie, but I went a little different. But again, plenty to talk about. Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, and the holidays around the corner.
A guy who's very cheery, not only during the holidays, but basically 24/7 is Dan and Dago, especially when it's not Whiskey Sour Wednesday. So he should be plenty fired up. And Dan and Dago has breaking news. Let's see what that breaking news is. Let's go to Dan, that cowboy hat wearing, sunglass donning, son of a gun. Let's go to him now.
Welcome all to another glorious Wednesday. And you already know Wednesday is not just hump day. It is the day your favorite program drops another episode. But hold on, I'm not going to go into my regular spiel. We have some exciting news. The Compas have teamed up with Homage, the best sports apparel brand in the world. And as you know, the Compas on the Beat is the best program in the whole universe. So it is the perfect pawn. We are the peanut butter to their jelly. We are the spaghetti to their meatball. Whatever analogy you prefer, we are that. It is the best, hands down. There is no other. Because everybody else is the twos, and we're the ones. Woo! Homage has already hooked up your boy with some amazing Chargers gear and Justin Herbert t-shirts. You already know how excited I get talking about the son of Odin, God of lightning, the right arm with the gun, the golden arm, Justin Herbert. These t-shirts are fire. Your boy Dan and Dago has seen them with his own eyes. But what can I say? What a performance by my boy in prime time. So here's the link to the Chargers gear. Do not forget to get in there and check out all that stuff for your Chargers gear. There it is right there. Just get in there, check it out. Be a friend, tell a friend, help out your compas. You already know. Can't wait for my shirts to arrive because you already know I'll be wearing that next program as soon as I get here. Got a really cool one with a throwback helmet. Justin Herbert t-shirt. I'm so hyped. And make sure to get yourself some Homage shirts as well before Christmas. Great Christmas gift. They have everything on there. Don't you worry about nothing. It would also make a great Christmas gift for any special NFL fan in your life. And yeah, it doesn't have to be the Chargers gear. Don't worry about that. Homage has got you covered with gear from all 32 teams. There is the link down there. Do not forget to check it out. Also for our Rams fans, because we have a program named House of Horns, you are riding on that Baker Mayfield high. And what better way, as a macho man used to say, to rise to the top as the cream than getting some Homage gear. Get in there in that link. Do not fret. The Compas have your Week 14 takeaways. Anyway, that's enough from your boy Dan and Dago. It's time to get to the best damn program in the universe. From all the way across the hallway, play music, Nando!
Welcome to Compas on the Beat. I am Fernando Ramirez. I cover the Los Angeles Chargers for the Sporting Tribune. With me, as always, my co-host, my tag team partner, Gilbert Manzano. He covers the Rams for the OC Register LA Daily News. What's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? Usually you will catch me in a very lively mood because I got the weekend off from Thursday Night Football. You know, Thursdays are a little tricky. It's very fast paced, a lot of work, but then you get to enjoy the weekend. Baker Mayfield, what a crazy story that is. But, you know, I had the weekend off. I think I caught a little cold. I'm okay, in case you were wondering. But I'm here because last week you had the same scenario and you gutted out that performance like a champ. So I got to do the same thing here on week 14 NFL takeaways of Compas on the beat.
You know, it's funny. That's why I left you alone most of the weekend because I thought he's gonna be doing X, Y, and Z or whatever. I know. Obviously, it was a long weekend and everything. I just first wanted to start off though by congratulating my little sister Melissa. She graduated from UC Davis with her degree in animal biology. We drove up to UC Davis to spend the weekend with her. It was pretty cool. Even little Daniel came with us to celebrate the graduation. It was fun, dude. It was raining, but like apocalyptic raining. Like it was, we were like walking from the car to the stadium, the auditorium. We were drenched, so it was pretty bad. But other than
I
that,
saw the picture. Like your sister's hair seemed like it was wet. You guys were all looked pretty
dude,
cold out there.
yeah,
So
we tried so hard to stay warm or whatever, but it was a fun graduation. It was good. I was so proud to see her walk across the stage, and that just means that all three of us now have our degrees. So I have one more than each of them, but
wow,
definitely but hey, I was the miracle child. Nobody thought I would be I would have one, let alone two. So I'm gonna right there.
a
No,
miracle
but
child? Was it like a crazy story to your birth or what?
no. Just like in the sense of like in school, I didn't like school. I was just wasn't. Didn't entice me the way Daniel and Melissa were smart. They tried hard.
Oh,
They did
you're like the
everything they needed to do.
one-star recruit that becomes a
Yeah,
star and nobody
exactly,
expected.
superstar. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
So I mean, it just that's just the way it happened. I'm sure that's why you and I became compas. You were a 1-star recruit as well. Well, you were a star and a half because you did track. So I'll give you half a star.
I was a
But
CIF participant in track and
okay,
field.
then fine. I'll give you an extra star, the 2-star.
Uh,
But
It
yeah,
might like
so
my Al Bundy moment.
2.5, fine. So definitely,
I once scored
definitely
4
excited,
touchdowns in a single game.
definitely excited to. I was definitely proud to see Melissa walk across the stage
UC Davis,
get her
right?
degree. UC Davis, yes,
That's a,
animal
that's a, that's a
biology.
hard school to get into. First of
Oh
all,
my god, dude! So we were eating. We went to a restaurant, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying this. She had like a couple of days ago. She had gotten a couple of days before that. She had gotten rejected from one school, and she was so sad. And we're eating, and she just looks up. She looks down at her phone. She looks up, and like tears start rolling down her eyes. I'm like, "What's the matter?" She's like, "I just got into UC Davis," and we're like, "Oh my god!" Like we all jumped up and hugged her. Everyone's turning around, going like, "What the hell is the matter with these people?" And we're like, "Oh my god, you got it! Like, congratulations!" That's the one school she's always wanted to go to. That was a school that everybody told her she wouldn't get into because it was so hard,
wow,
and she ended up doing it. So very proud of her. But
congrats
definitely
to
a
her.
really fun weekend.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time for you guys. I also make sure try to bother you guys. I think I sent a picture to one of the many groups we have together. Hey, I'm
Yeah,
enjoying my weekend. I was like, oh, nobody's really responding because they're up north. So
yeah,
I backed off after that. I was like, okay, I wanted to try to show off. But congrats to your sister Melissa, and I'm glad you guys
appreciate it.
got back safe and enjoyed it, and you made it back in time for that
Oh
uh
my god, it was crazy,
Chargers
man.
Dolphins game, and I'm guessing the Sunday night game helped you out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, it did. But at first, I mean, I wish it would have been the 1 o'clock game, but I understand why folks did it. There was a lot of hype behind this game. Tua versus Justin Herbert, Mike McDaniel versus Brandon Staley, two of the younger minds in the NFL. Something's got to give, and interesting. I mean, it was an interesting matchup to say the least. I mean, Sunday Night Football. It was funny because I got there at about 1 o'clock. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with all this free time? Like, I had 4.5 hours basically to kill. And all of a sudden, I see our good friend, our compa, Eric Williams post, oh, just got to SoFi Stadium or whatever. I'm like, yeah. So we just got to chatting and having a good time. So we definitely, when we get together, it's definitely, well, you'll see in a couple of weeks because I think Eric will be going to that New Year's Day game between the Chargers and the Rams. So it'll be a good time. But definitely an interesting matchup. Um, yeah, so definitely an interesting. You know who was there? Chuck Liddell. He had a
No,
black eye. I was like, I wonder if he just
Iceman.
fought or what happened. Yeah, he had a black eye. I was like, dude, did I miss a fight of Chuck Liddell? Like, what's up with that? But definitely an interesting matchup between both of them. And good stuff. But I don't know. I still have a little bit of doubts off of the charge and everything. But before we get into all that, Gilbert, obviously Dan and Dago broke the news that we have teamed up with Homage. I'm very excited about that. Their t-shirts are awesome. You guys know me. WrestleMania is coming up. You know I'm about to load up on all those shirts because definitely, like, I'm super hyped. I hope they're not the easy, because sometimes I just go, I hope they're not the easy rip kind, because I get hyped. So I'm definitely hyped about this partnership and the shirts that Homage has. And guys, honestly, you guys saw last year, we took this show to the Super Bowl in LA. We're trying to do it again. So we think that partnering up with Homage is the first step for this. So we're definitely excited. They got Chargers gear, they got Rams gear, they got WWE gear. They even got one of my favorite shirts. And I'm not sticking to sports. It says Topanga was my first crush. Topanga from Boy Meets World. That's definitely my first. That was definitely my first crush. So definitely they have everything from NFL, from everything you want. Homage has it all. Gilbert, take it away.
Yeah, our friends are Homage. We're like, hey, we like what you're doing at Compas on the Beat. We see you have multiple shows, a Chargers show with What's Up Boats,
What?
a Ram show with House of Horns, a
What?
Combat Sports show with Combat Compas. And they're like, hey, we have Charger shirts, Ram shirts, WWE shirts.
What?
Do you want to collab and have a partnership? So we said, yeah. And we had an agreement, like Dan Dago mentioned in the promo. And they're going to send us also some shirts. I know Dan Dago was saying he's excited for his shirts, but we're getting some too. For now, they're going to get some WWE gear. But yeah, it's pretty cool to, collab with Homage, because yeah, you're getting a nice shirt, a DX shirt. Can't wait to just get here. We're going to get here pretty soon, Fernando. But we like nice t-shirts, and Homage has it for, I know a lot of listeners here are Chargers fans, so we have that. So when you see the banner here that says for Chargers gear, make sure you pause this video and you save that URL link and you bookmark it, because when you go to that link directly, your compas get a little commission off of that. So help us out, get us to the Super Bowl. Fernando, I think you froze, or he's just really good at acting.
You have to pause. You said pause.
Okay, yeah, pause. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, hopefully you got that. Say that, Rams fans, or you're watching because you follow House of Horns. You say, hey, what's Victor and Gil up to? Save that link again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got 2 more. We'll make it quicker. If you're just an NFL fan, you love the show, NFL gear right here. WWE fan, what? Link right here. There you go. And you got some good pictures there. So just bookmark all these URLs, get what you need, but make sure you go through URLs to help out your compas get to the Super Bowl. Fernando, I lost track of the Super Bowl 52 in Arizona.
No, heck no. I think we're at like,
oh no,
53 was in LA, wasn't it?
I forgot.
54 was in LA.
Yeah, we're 55, I guess.
We're at 55?
Okay. We'll figure it out. But help us get to the Super Bowl in Arizona, and you could do that by getting these links here. And we're not just trying to get some money here. We actually enjoy these shirts, and we want you guys to be a part of it. If you're going to buy a nice shirt, might as well help out the compas, right?
And they're fluffy friendly for any of you. Some of us are carrying some extra baggage this Christmas. They're fluffy friendly, so definitely very excited about that. But thank you again to Homage and everything that you guys do. We're excited about this partnership with the compas. And honestly, who else would you rather have than Dan and Dago promoting and rating for you? So they definitely must be excited about the opportunity to work with Dan and Dago.
They're big fans of Dan and Dago, the promo reader.
There you go. And they're gonna show him the show, instead of showing him the money, they're gonna show him the love. So definitely that's what Dan and Dago is all about. So we're definitely appreciative. But now, Gilbert, it's time to move on to Compas on the LA. Gilbert, go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to take the victory lap, Fernando, because you have this kind of feud with Emmanuel Acho. I don't know if he knows about the feud that you guys have, but you called him out here on Compas on the Beat, and I wonder if that video is doing well now, because you were right there. And I'll just start this way. When Justin Herbert got up for that first down, a critical first down, and did one of these,
dude, I
celebration, and he dropped the football. When you said, "Hey, that was the first," I thought the same thing. This guy never shows emotion. He's like a robot out there. He's like the Kawhi Leonard of football. Just never moves. Like, how we're doing the freeze frames. Yeah. He doesn't care. Doesn't show any emotions. And then also when he threw that pass,
championship.
Oh yeah,
No, like Kawhi Leonard. You just won the championship.
I'm going to Disneyland. But when he threw that pass to Keenan Allen, that crazy pass, and they both pointed at each other, that's like, man, we're clicking. And that's the Justin Herbert of last year, the Herbert from his rookie year. What a coincidence. Keenan Allen's healthy, Mike Williams is healthy, now he's doing well. But everybody was ready to. That's the bad thing about where we're this social media age. That's why that's why we said a while ago. Enjoy the 2020 NFL QB class. I'm not trying to take a shot at Tua here, but these quarterbacks all go through highs and lows. And you're gonna go with Jalen Hurts, Tua, Burrow, Herbert. Who's the biggest physical specimen, physical traits from all four? It's Justin Herbert. He has all the traits that you want. That's why he started out so quickly.
Burrow has a swag.
You could debate. They're all different. Jalen Hurts is finally finding it. Tua is finding it. It's great. But because Herbert had maybe a rough patch of four. It was his first rough patch in 3 years. Yeah. The other guys got it in the first couple of years. Burrows didn't really have it. It's crazy. It's kind of crazy to think. But he went through the injury, But everybody goes through highs and lows, and I was just kind of like, all right, quiet with this freaking debate. Acho put the flames on it. It got out of control. People were trying to write off Herbert. There was a story from Football Outsider saying Justin Herbert's not that good, and then this is the week. Suddenly, he's really good. So that is my takeaway. That is a Herbert that I know, that I'm familiar with from the last 2 years. He finally went through his rough patch. It was bound to happen, and it happened. Now, please just quiet down. He's still Herbert.
And the crazy part is it was a rough patch in the sense of you lost your. It's crazy to think that now it's illegal to not enjoy for a quarterback to have weapons. Like all of a sudden, everybody's like, well, he got his weapons back, so obviously we expect this. I'm like, oh, so now we're just moving the goalpost again for this guy when like Tua's had his weapons. Burrow's kind of been in and out this season. Like Jamar Chase has gone down. T. Higgins, like each guy has kind of gone through a rough patch of it. But the thing is, every quarterback, and this is what I was talking with a former NFL receiver last night, and I said every quarterback has to go through a rough patch where you don't have your receivers. I saw Phillip Rivers, and I think it was 2012. Vincent Jackson is gone. Antonio Gates gets hurt most of the season. It was rough to watch Phillip Rivers for the first time not have weapons, and him have to rely on guys like Michael Spurlock, like Denario Alexander, like these guys that nobody knew anything about. It was rough to see him do that kind of thing. That's why. Go ahead.
Ring the bell. Sorry.
Oh my God.
San Diego history.
So obviously, okay, my bad. Let me go through it again then. Tom Brady had to go through patches where you don't have all your receivers. Peyton Manning is gonna have to go. That you always have at one point you're gonna have to go through it. Yeah. Justin went through it this season, and it was rough. But at the same time, he still in all those games he went up against San Francisco, who just blew out Miami. He held them to within. Yeah. Thank you. A little delayed, but thank you. And I'm just messing with you, Vic. By the way, we have Vic, the producer, back. So to have him back. Definitely excited to have him manning the machine again, so that Gilbert and I can just talk and not have to worry about all the banners. So, but definitely excited to have Vic back. But obviously, like you have to go through those rough patches, and Justin just learned how to go through it. So definitely, it's something positive. I know people see it as a negative because they went 3-4, or they lost 3 out of 4, whatever. But it's something that Justin needed to learn from, and now that's why he's able to use guys like Joshua. He's gotten comfortable with Joshua Palmer during that time. He's gotten comfortable with other guys, but definitely interesting to see moving forward how Justin fares, especially with having Mike Williams, 6 receptions, 116 yards, 1 touchdown. He couldn't be stopped Sunday night. But Gilbert, I'm still kind of on a high over Baker Mayfield and the way that Rams game ended. I mean, it was honestly fun to watch. I was with Eric Williams yesterday, and he said, man, that game was so boring for 3 quarters. And you're like sitting there and you're like, when is this going to be over? And then the 4th quarter the game just lights up. So definitely a lot of excitement over the last 2 games that have happened in LA, but definitely excited to see what Baker Mayfield does moving forward. A little concerning, obviously, about the Raiders, just because it seemed like they were riding a 3-game high. They were doing so well, and I don't want to say they overlooked the Rams, but maybe they might have a little bit. Like I thought it was going to be a blowout. I thought it was going to be 31-14. It was just going to be bad, but the Rams were able to hold on, and that's what I had when we were breaking it down on House of Horns. I'm like, hey, these guys are these guys are tough. I mean, the Rams aren't going away. Their defense is playing hard. They played Kansas City hard. They've played other teams really hard on defense. So definitely interesting to see. But I can't wait to see Baker Mayfield and you in Green Bay on El Fútbol por el lunes en la noche on Monday Night Football. With thank you for Vic, the producer, for sending us the weather report. It is supposed to be 4 degrees Fahrenheit that night.
Yeah, it's supposed to be at night. But
You're gonna look like Biggie Smalls. You're gonna look like all these coats and
I'm gonna
stuff.
have.
You're gonna be like the guy. You're gonna be like the Jamaican guys in Cool Runnings going through the airport with all your jackets and even your bag.
I'll say this: when I've been dreading this Green Bay Packers road trip since the schedule came out, because I'm like, how am I gonna get there? How cold's gonna be? It's in December, but I never expected to cover a Baker Mayfield games with him starting for the Rams. So nice little twist there. I'll figure it out, just like Baker Mayfield figured it out on Thursday Night Football. Fernando, again, thank you for filling in for House of Horns and doing that post game show. But that kind of came. What was that?
It was my honor, Captain.
Thank you, sir. It kind of came out of nowhere, and I got some angry emails from some of our loyal readers in the Orange County area. Because maybe I didn't do the story justice, because it came out of nowhere. It was a random game on Thursday night with 2 losing teams and a 6-game losing streak for the Rams, and it was 16-3 5 minutes ago in the fourth quarter, and it was a boring game. Besides Baker making that entrance, that was like, okay, let's do it, because everybody's like, John Wolford, come on, don't put John Wolford in. So it's kind of like a little deflating at the beginning, and then he has his helmet on the second drive. Excitement, threw it to Van Jefferson in the first pass. And then it was just a boring game between 2 bad teams. And I was like, so I started writing the story a little negative. And when it said, my deadlines, I complain about that all the time. It was a quick adjustment, quick tweaks, maybe fair criticism. Your boy got buried here by some people in Orange County, but it's okay. They're loyal readers. But I want to say I do agree. It was a very memorable game that came out of nowhere. But one of the emails that I got said it's compared to the Miracle on Ice, and I'm gonna say slow down a little bit there. But other than that, they were right because that story,
But those really are like the people that sit on the couch and go, I could have caught that. Oh, I would have read this. I would have done that. Like, get out of here. Stop. Like, they don't know what it's like to face that deadline late at night, especially with the game keeps on going, and you're kind of waiting for the game to be over because you need to go down, get quotes really fast, turn those quotes around, and then and you have to turn those quotes around, put them in your story, and then send it in. So I mean, it's like those couch potato coaches and GMs and everything that I don't know. I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff because obviously it's like those people that say, oh, I can do that too. But yeah,
that's another segment for another show. Maybe we'll give you guys the insight of what it takes to write a story on deadline and how to collab with the newspaper. But that's a story for then. We got to move it on.
Speaking of stories, Gilbert, it's time for Compas on the NFL. Gilbert, what was your biggest takeaway from the week NFL, the week 14? Your biggest takeaway from week 14?
One day I'm gonna be ready because I always forget my And I feel like I've said this one before, Fernando, and you always freak out. But so far, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. They're still rolling. They
lost the game.
They won the game.
They should be undefeated.
Whatever. Who did they lose to? I already forgot, to be honest.
The Commanders.
Okay. Yeah, but that was good. You got the one loss out the way, and you're back to rolling. And I wanted to see that momentum
rolling.
And every single week, I'm believing a little more because I keep saying they're the new kids on the block. I got to see more playoffs. And even you have some of your doubts. And you've been on the bandwagon since day 1 or day 3, whatever it was. And I was watching the games at home because it was my weekend off, as I mentioned. And I keep thinking, like, this freaking Eagles offense is a juggernaut. They're unstoppable. They can run the football. They can pass the football. And then their quarterback is a dual threat. He could do both. AJ Brown's a monster. Devontae Smith's finally doing something. He's always doing something on my bench, by the way. I've been waiting for him to burst, and he always does it on my bench. Whatever. Same thing with Mike Williams. I didn't believe that he was going to be ready. Different story. Victor beat me. Whatever. I'm done with fantasy football. But the Eagles are just a scary juggernaut, and I'm thinking they're for reals. I don't think they're going to be that one new team. There's always that one new team that just gets bounced out because they're just new to the postseason. I like what Nick Sirianni is doing. Shane Steichen, friend of the show. Hurts seems like the real deal. I know he beat up on the Giants where we saw that one. There were frauds from a mile away. They're going to be a nice story, but they're frauds. We knew that. But to trounce them that bad, the Miles Sanders finally woke up. I forgot about Miles Sanders on this team. And that defense is starting to figure out a little better. I know they have some problems in the trenches, but they got some guys to beef it up there with Linval
Joseph. Linval Joseph, like Fletcher Cox. Like they got.
But for now, I don't know. Are you finally convinced this team's made for the playoffs? Because I think I'm ready to say that.
I am, but there's one thing I don't like about what the Eagles are doing. They need to stop so many. I don't like all the running of Jalen Hurts. The designed run quarterback runs. I know they work sometimes, but you need to kind of relax that a little bit because you're gonna start getting into these next few weeks. You don't want to take your foot off the gas, but at the same time, you don't want to hurt your quarterback. And I feel like that's why I feel like the Chargers don't do the designated runs on Justin Herbert. I feel like that's why some other teams don't do them as well because they don't want to hurt their quarterback. But I don't know. That's the only reason why I don't like it. But other than that, I think they're playing really good football. I think they're playing energized football, and I think they're doing a lot of really good things right now.
Real quick, Fernando, did you see that tweet from Jerry Rice saying stop running our skill players up the middle?
Oh, because of Deebo Samuel?
Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah, he was pretty critical of them, but that's a good one, Gilbert. I actually do like that one. I think the Eagles are flying high. Mine is that seventh seed for the AFC is going to be nuts. Right now, last night the Chargers Sunday night the Chargers had taken that 7th spot. Now, obviously, the Patriots have taken it over since they beat the Cardinals, and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward. So the Patriots they're staying in Arizona. They play the Raiders next Sunday. The Bengals come to New England on Christmas Eve. The Dolphins come to New England on New Year's Day. And the Patriots play at the Bills to end the season. They could honestly go 0-4 to end the season. They have such a rough schedule. I don't know how it's going to go. The Chargers, obviously, they face Tennessee. They go to Indy. They come back to play the Rams, and then they go to Denver. So that's going to be interesting. I don't think it's just going to be them. Maybe the Jets get into this as well. The Jets schedule is they face the Lions this weekend. That's not going to be easy. They face the Jaguars on Thursday Night Football. That's not going to be easy. They go to the Seahawks. That's not going to be easy. Then they finish in Miami. That's going to be tough. The Dolphins also, they have a rough – they're the 6th seed, but even they have they're going to have a hard time. They go to the Bills next weekend. They go. The Packers come to them in 2 weeks. Then they play in New England, and then they get the Jets at home. So
Fernando, let's give Victor some content on the spot here. Those last 2 spots, the 6th and the 7th, who are the 2 teams that get it between the Dolphins, the Jets, the Patriots, and the Chargers? Who are the 2 teams that get it?
I'll say the Dolphins get it.
Just do it.
I'll say the Chargers get that last spot. I just, you know why? I think that they're gonna get Joey back. I think they might get him back this week. I think for the Indy game, he's gonna be there. The Indy game, I'll say he's there. I think maybe for that Rams one, Rashawn Slater may be back for that one. So I mean, obviously, I don't know. It's just off of what I've heard from Brandon, but I think the Chargers might be able to make a run at it. I don't know if I can trust them completely, but I just see these schedules and I'm like, well, the Jets matter a lot of those games, and so should the Patriots.
Every single week is different. That's why it's kind of hard. That's why last week we were like, yeah, like there's some winnable games for the Chargers, and but then we're like, they could probably beat the Dolphins, but then they could probably lose to the Colts. That's how weird the Chargers are,
and that's why they're so annoying.
But that was the best game of the year, and to be rolling this late when you're seeing the Jets kind of going backwards.
And if you watch What's Up Bolts, they left me wanting. There was something in the pit of my stomach I didn't like. They should have blown out the Dolphins.
They could have. When it was like it was 10-0, it was 17-7 for the longest. They easily left a lot of points out there on the field.
There's the second half offense. I don't like their second half offense at all. I think they're coming out kind of stagnant. They scored 6 points in the second half. But you score a lot more to put teams away. But I
agree though. It's the Dolphins and and the Chargers. And I can't wait to see Victor put this on TikTok at Compas on the Beat and see how many people who are Jets fans and Patriots fans call you out.
That's fine. Go ahead. Are you not entertained? Next one. Gilbert, who has the scarier side of the ball come playoffs? The Niners defense or the Bengals offense?
Man, it's a really good question because then we were talking about the quarterbacks from the 2020 having their highs and lows. Joe Burrow had a pretty low this to start the month. We forget about that. And they really figure it out and they're cruising, but they have some injuries too now. T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd. Man, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go with the 49ers because they've been doing it all year. You know, when Nick Bosa is in that field, man, they're just a different unit.
He's a monster.
Fred Warner is also a monster, all pro
San
linebacker.
Diego kid.
They just destroyed Tom Brady. Yeah, those are your boys right there. Let's go with the 49ers, Bosa, Warner, and all the guys there in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley.
Did you see Greenlaw ask Tom Brady for his autograph?
Yeah, that was pretty.
Tom today was on his podcast, and you could tell it hurt him to his core to sign that ball. But he said it was a good play. And then he's like, and also like people say I'm a bad sport, but I had to be a good sport right there.
Yeah, and also it's how you come at him too. You can't be like, oh, I'm gonna make fun of you. No, I think he was respectable, but also I think thanks to shout out to Cam Inman on at 49ers.cam. He does a great job on Instagram. I see a lot of his videos, and it's Greenlaw, right?
Yeah.
He said that he didn't want to ask at first until Fred Warner came over and kind of gave him the nudge. So he was a little embarrassed and shy.
That's funny. That's like when your compa tells you, "Hey, come on,
yeah,
go talk to her,
go talk to her.
It's fine." Yeah, just go up. Definitely, I agree. I'm gonna go with the Bengals offense. Joe Burrow's held it. Joe Burrow, he's held it down even with all the missing pieces. Joe Mixon's been in and out. Some other guys have been in and out. So definitely, I'm gonna go with the Bengals offense. I love what they do with that offense. They mix and match. Zach Taylor does not get enough love the way he should. I think people started noticing a little bit more last year when they made that Super Bowl run. But Jamar Chase still had, what do you have, like 180 or almost 200 receiving yards over the weekend.
Touchdown,
so he's just a monster still. And I feel as long as those guys keep it going and they hold it down, that offense is going to be very, 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 very good. Gilbert, Compa of the week. Who you got this week?
Oh yeah, I was going to forget who I had. A little random, but it was a lot of random performances that came out of this week, and we're going to get into a little more as the show goes on. Jaguars, Lions, how you doing? But yeah, J.K. Dobbins, man, like to have a bunch of injuries. He was a standout rookie running back who got hurt, and people kind of forgot about J.K. And I remember he had kind of a little fight with, I think it was a rap sheet saying like, hey, people are worried about his injury. And he's like, no, I'm good. And then you didn't hear anything from J.K. because he was still hurt. For him to come back against the Steelers and Lamar Jackson's not playing, you need somebody to step up to kind of keep you afloat. Because I'll say the Ravens beat the Steelers. J.K. Dobbins did pretty well, man. Like he had 15 carries, 150 something yards, and I think a touchdown. So shout out for him to overcome that adversity, the injuries, and to be showing that burst and helping out the Lamar Jackson-less Ravens.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Evan Ingram from the kind of random as well from the Jacksonville Jaguars, huh?
No surprise, man. Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. He really, and I remember with the Giants, everybody didn't like him, and he caught a lot of flack. But he's played well with. Well, I mean, he's kind of had some weird weeks, but on Sunday at Titans, 11 catches, 162 yards, 2 touchdowns. I know we always talk about Travis Kelce, George Kittle, and those guys, but Evan Ingram had a very good weekend, so I definitely think he deserves Compa of the week. Very good stuff. Gilbert, for my power rankings for week 14, I did not change my power rankings. I don't know how you are. I don't know what you did, but I didn't change mine. Mine are still Bengals, Eagles, Bills, Chiefs, 49ers. What about yours?
Actually, mine's the same way. Eagles, Bills, Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers. The only thing we have different, right, is I have the Eagles 1, you have the Bengals number 1. So actually, you have the Bills 3 here. But, I'm really believing in the Eagles. I think they're not just like a one-year wonder. The Vikings are definitely a one-year wonder. We'll get into them. But the Eagles, Bills, Bengals, they seem like they're at the top. Also, Chiefs, they did their thing.
Yeah.
And then the 49ers is going to be – the 49ers is a tricky one because – they just keep getting injuries, but they keep doing well. I think even Brock Purdy took an injury, Deebo Samuel, but somehow they keep doing it because of that defense.
And by the way, Deebo Samuel, he should be coming back towards the end of the season. So it's never good when you see all the players come up and smack your helmet when you're on the cart.
No.
I think everybody feared for a torn ACL, but supposedly Deebo should be coming back by the end of the season. You know, a guy who's always there, he's never hurt. He's always goes 100. That's Dan and Dago. We already saw him once. Why not see him again? And let's see what he's got cooking up for us right now. Let's see what that son of a gun is up to.
Another great episode, getting into some stuff. You already know how your boys here on Compas on the Beat do. And do not forget about the program. Speaking of Compas on the Beat Network, do not forget to check out our other programs we got going on. Don't forget to check out House of Horns. What? Little What's Up Bolts. What? Combat Compas. What? Regular Compas. And also do not forget the new edition. If you like hearing the word or hearing about everything that goes on in the goal. If you love hearing everything in the football world, do not forget to check out Compas FC with the lads. I never miss an episode, and I'm laughing like crazy. The lads have got you covered. Do not fret. They will keep you up to date on everything on the pitch. Do not forget to check out those other programs. Like, subscribe, comment. Be a compa, tell a compa. Nothing as simple as that. And also, do not forget, your boys are on every social media platform. On the TikToks, at Compas on the Beat. What? Twitter, at Compas OTB. The OTB is capital. What? On the Instagrams, at Compas on the Beat. What? Your boys are everywhere is where I'm trying to get at. Do not forget to find us everywhere. Be a compa, tell a compa. Let's get back to the program.
Gilbert, good stuff from Dan and Dago, obviously. We love listening to him. Now it's time for the rapid fire. Some sirens. Gilbert, if Brock Purdy continues to be successful as the 49ers quarterback, is there an outcome where Trey Lance never gets his job back?
All right, let's slow it down here. It's been one game, a good game against Tom Brady, Brock Purdy. I want to say the 49ers defense has a lot to do with that, but I don't know. It's tough to judge 49er quarterbacks in this Kyle Shanahan system. People keep saying it's quarterback proof for a reason. You kind of plug guys, but also, you got to do your thing too as a quarterback. It can't be just all the entire system. But let's slow it down. I still want to see more of Trey Lance. Maybe don't run him up the middle like Jerry Rice said, and let the guy have a full season before we talk about it. But to be drafted with 3rd overall and then give up a bunch of first-round picks too, you got to give Trey Lance a fair shot here. But, man, these injuries, Trey Lance, Jimmy G, maybe in Brock Purdy, but I think it's like only like a rip thing. Maybe it'll be okay. But no,
they have a short week. They go to Seattle this week.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be tough. But I don't think Trey Lance should be worried, and we'll see what they do. But it was a nice little thing. I'm taking all the time. I forgot. Sorry.
No, you're good. The 49ers quarterback was on the field yesterday. He was wearing red, but it was on the opposite team. Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. will be the quarterback of your San Francisco 49ers next season. That's what I want to see. That's what everybody wants to see. He wants to come home. There's a reason why the curse hasn't been lifted, Gilbert. Joe Montana, Steve Young, it ended with them. Jimmy G, the great Colin Kaepernick, they weren't able to win Super Bowls. It is because Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. has to break. I just dropped something. Has to break the curse. He will break the curse. He will come back and win a Super Bowl for the 49ers next season.
At age 46, huh, Vic?
And you'll go like this. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Age 46, man. I don't know.
46. Yeah. Yeah, he can have the senior grand slam at Denny's and also win a Super Bowl, Gilbert. He can do it all.
I'll say this. The Raiders should stay away from Tom Brady because I feel like that's just kind of like a disaster waiting to happen. Age 46, it's going to get to you eventually for the time, and it's going to be such a Raider move it does.
He's chilling. Don't worry about him. Gilbert, the Jaguars and the Lions had impressive wins over the weekend. Which of these two franchises has the young core of talent to be sustainable for a playoff contender in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I was thinking about this for a while, and I'm like, oh, the Lions are pretty good. And then I'm like, no. Give me the Jaguars because they have their potential franchise quarterback. Quarterback is important. Jared Goff is nice, but is he going to be your future? He's more like a bridge, a really good bridge, a very strong bridge. Like, think about the Golden Gate Bridge. How about that, Jared Goff?
That's a superstar bridge.
Okay, I don't know. But you're there's no troll living under a bridge. How about that? But I feel like ever since like I was trying to like call out Trevor Lawrence, I'm like, I gotta see more from him. He's been doing well. I know he had that stinker against the Lions, right? But the comeback against who did they play? I'm already forgetting.
They played the Tennessee Titans. They beat them down.
They beat him down. And
Yeah.
Zay Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram, ETN, these is and Christian Kirk. It's not like the craziest like nucleus there or core, but you got the quarterback and you're finally seeing potential.
And you have a good coach.
And that's the thing. Like that's the thing. He's going through his real rookie year, the ups and downs of a rookie year, and his ups are pretty high right now.
Are you trying to disrespect Urban Meyer and all the work that he put in last year as the head coach of your Jacksonville Jaguars?
I think everybody's trying to forget that year.
I can't wait till they do a 30 for 30 on that year. I'm gonna go with the Lions. I just think that they're kind of like they're a little bit of a quarterback away, but I like the nucleus on their defense. I think their defense got them a lot better the last few weeks. Yeah, teams are still scoring points, but they still have some good players. That offense though has firepower for days. GJ Chark. They have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who their father has been preparing these kids for years. They're machines. And then you add Jamison Williams, who Fernando had spoken into existence that the Chargers should have drafted last year. Imagine right now, Keenan Allen, Josh Palmer, Jamison Williams, and Mike Williams. Wow. Imagine that quadruple attack for Justin Herbert. No, I'm just kidding. But I think that they have a good nucleus. I'm with you. They just need a quarterback. But if you're a quarterback, I think they should draft their quarterback this offseason, because if you're a quarterback, if you're one of these young quarterbacks, you come in, you learn behind Jared Goff, you have these weapons, you're nurturing, you're bringing these weapons up. That's why some rookie quarterbacks fail, because they come into a situation when the team is just completely abysmal. Here, you're coming into a system where you already have weapons around you. They're building that offensive line, which is really good. So this would be a good scenario where you sit behind Jared Goff and you learn from him.
Forgot about that O-line. O-line's pretty good.
Exactly. Gilbert, who is your defensive player of the year after week 14?
Yeah. Oh, but also too, shout out to Panay Sewell for catching that pass. That was pretty.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So linemen's doing their thing over there. Oh yeah, I think you're laughing at my joke where I put in the rundown, Fernando. I said not Max Crosby from the Raiders, because I know Victor's been pounding the table for Max Crosby to get some love. You said because he's on a losing team. Victor said no, F that, Max Crosby, and we'll hear more from Victor later on. But I'm gonna go with my guy, Micah Parsons, who's a big George Lopez fan. Apparently, I don't know if you saw that video where he's telling people, I want to say maybe it's Trevon Diggs or somebody else, but they played George Lopez on the screen. He's like, "Oh, I used to love that show, watching it. I think I know why he watched." But another reason, Michael Parsons having a good year, and Mrs. Lopez.
The mom?
Yeah, Mrs. Lopez. I'm assuming.
She was Selena's mom in the movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
But they made her look a lot older.
Yeah,
but
I was just thinking that with the hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Michael Parsons having a good season. I know that Cowboys against the Texans wasn't good though, but I like Michael Parsons.
I gotta go with Nicholas Bosa from the San Francisco 49ers. That defense has been killer all season. They're still one of the best defenses in the league. He has 14.5 sacks, 39 combined tackles, 6 assists, 39 combined tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 35 quarterback hits. So I definitely think that he's on pace to break. So last year he had 15.5 sacks. He's at 14.5 right now. He should surpass that. He might almost hit 20. By the way, because this is the 49ers real quick. The 49ers finish at Seahawks. They face the Commanders, at Raiders, and the Cardinals. Oh my God, Nick might break the damn record with some of the quarterbacks that he's at. The Cardinals, he might have 6 sacks against the Cardinals. And I think I just saw that Cliff Kingsbury does fear that Kyler Murray might have torn his ACL. So that's going to be a rough return. But we wish him all the best to the best Call of Duty player out there. Hopefully Kyler Murray.
Wow, a shot while he's down.
No. I'm just giving him compliments. No, he's one of the better young quarterbacks in the league, and hopefully he makes a speedy recovery, because he's fun to watch, especially in the last 5 minutes of the game when it looks like nothing. They can't do anything, and he comes back and starts running around and making things happen. But yeah, Nick Bosa is my selection.
I can't wait for Baker Mayfield and Nick Bosa to play each other twice a year next year.
Oh, dude, the planting of the flag is what I want to see. Gilbert, did the Cowboys almost losing to the Texans make it harder or easier to keep Dallas from the Compas Super Bowl contenders list? By the way, they did make a signing on Monday. They signed T.Y. Hilton, former Colts receiver, which I thought it might be OBJ. That just tells you that OBJ may not be ready. And did you see Dr. Mike Florio posted that a team to watch out for OBJ might be the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh wow, I thought
So that's pretty interesting.
You're gonna say
He said the
KC.
Eagles. He said the Eagles. I was like, oh wow. I'm like, can you imagine if the Eagles really did? But I don't know what that means. If the Cowboys didn't pick him up, that to me means that OBJ must not be ready. But my bad. Does that make the?
And at this point, it's starting to become a headache, man. Like the whole plane thing, and then
Every
having
week.
the whole parade in Dallas, and you still couldn't make it work with Dallas. And like he's going to the Mavs game, Mark Cuban, Luca. Like
What?
enough is enough already. Like, come on, like just pick a team and rehab with them and call it a day. But yeah, you know what? We had that video on TikTok where you said you're not ready to put the Cowboys on your Super Bowl contenders list because, perfect example, what they did to the Texans. The other side of the video,
People weren't happy.
yeah, but I jumped on board. I said, you know what, people were right. I'm with the Cowboys, and I'm not gonna jump off the bandwagon. Yes, sometimes you just gotta win a game. They pulled it off, so I think they're still, in my mind, a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, no, to me they're not. I can't put them in there. I mean, they struggled against them. I don't know what adding T.Y. Hilton adds. I'm not too impressed with that. Yeah, that's the only thing it adds, but that's if he scores a touchdown. So I'm just not sold on them. They're losing. They've lost a couple of players on defense. So that's a little bit of a rush patch. So I don't have them in there. So Gilbert, has Brian Dable and the Giants blue magic run out as we head into Week 15? I'm going to say yes, and that's all I need to do. Yes,
It's easy. Daniel Jones, I never believed, and this team was very fluky, streaky.
Danny Pennies is what he's turned into.
I don't know. And then Saquon's kind of been banged up. Like this team can't win from behind. I don't know. It was a nice story. It just shows you how good coaching can make a bad roster be competitive. That's about it.
I'm with you. Gilbert, will the Lions make the playoffs, and are they the team you want to avoid right now?
Well, I was dead wrong about them being because I think I said I was like the Vikings should get more respect. They're the underdogs. They've won 10 games. They should be the favorite. And now we know why Vegas knows everything. The Lions were supposed to be the favorites. They beat down the Vikings. That was a good quality win there from Dan Campbell. I don't know if they have it enough in there to make a playoff run. I think they're competing with the Seahawks, right? And the Seahawks lost to.
So this is how it is. The Giants are the 7th seed at 7, 5, and 1. Seahawks are 7 and 6. Lions are 6 and 7.
So those who has the 6th seed?
The 6th seed is the Washington Commanders.
Oh yeah, okay. There's a chance there, but they're 2 games behind, right? They're like 5 and something, 8 or 6 and I forget. What are the Lions?
The Lions 6 and 7.
Oh, they're 1 game behind. I'm not gonna jump on the bad one because I feel like I might curse them. I'm enjoying the Lions show. I'm gonna stay away. I'm saying no.
Let's take a peek real quick before we move on. Lions schedule, Gilbert, at the Jets, at the Panthers, the Bears, and at the Packers. Ooh,
those are all winnable games.
They are, but they're gonna be tough games.
I bet they go 3-1. Let's see if that's enough.
Yeah, especially with what the other teams have to go through, but definitely some good stuff there, Gilbert. Now it is time to bring on Vic, the producer, who makes his return back to Compas on the beach.
Hey guys, what's going on?
How you
What's
doing?
going on with you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm happy to be
This guy
back.
lost weight and he's not telling us. I'm like, look at this guy. He dropped about 15 pounds. No quiero dar la receta. So it's one of those things. You looking good, Victor.
Thanks. If that was the case, this is not the way you want to go about it.
Yeah, I know.
Having a couple of hernias removed. So I'm happy to be back with you guys. It was, I'm still recovering. I'm not allowed to go back to work yet for a couple more weeks, but I can do this, be on the podcast and be able to help you guys out. I was able to get that power rankings video right from my bed in the hospital after the surgery. I was able to post that. So
I was
that
like,
was
I was like,
crazy.
why are there TikToks being posted on the account right now when you're recovering in
Yeah, I
bed?
was like, and like we messaged each other. I'm like, did you post this? He's like, no. I'm like, I didn't. So like we were like, oh wow, he's literally posting all this from his bed. So
Yeah.
we appreciate all the help that that you gave us, even though you were day to day. So definitely thank you for all that.
And also, Victor, you wanted to be professional. You root for the Raiders, so you're like, you know what? They're playing the Rams. I can't pick a side here, so I'm gonna sit this one out and let. You gotta cut me off, huh? Rude.
That caught me off guard for a second. I was alarmed. You kind of cut him off a little bit, but that's all right. My bad.
That's all right.
I am here now. So do not fret, Alberto. I know you miss me. I know I'm what's going to keep you. The thought of me is going to keep you warm in Green Bay this weekend. I know that's what you're going to be thinking about. So don't worry. I have arrived, my guy.
Well, I was gonna say something bad for Victor because the Raiders lost, but for you, I was saving positive things because your Chargers won. So how you doing?
I'm excellent. You know what I mean? I wish they would have beat Vic's Raiders last week, and then we'd be even better. But it is what it is. On to the next week.
With the season coming down to the end, there is no glass half full for Dan and Dago. It's all empty. Like he's like, we should have beat Kansas City a couple of weeks ago and the 49ers.
It's playoff football right now. Anyone who tells you this is regular season football is an idiot. It is playoff football, especially for these teams on the cusp. It is must win every week. You start losing, you're going to go home real quick. And I know Gilberto's excited because he's already going to stay home. So,
oh yeah, definitely.
Speaking of play,
you never know. Just got to win out for the Rams and a bunch of teams to lose out. So you never know.
Could you imagine that they sneak in it? What would it be?
I'll be so
pissed. Hey, by the way, if the Chargers do make the playoffs in the 7th seed, they may send them to Kansas City to go cover that game. So you never know.
I wouldn't complain for that. I would not complain.
Barbecue.
So would shed a tear if he doesn't see his beloved Patrick Mahomes, Jackson, and Brittany in the divisional.
I gotta send you the picture I took at Arrowhead Stadium, by the way.
You know, it's funny. Gilbert did tell me one time we were talking, and I'm like, "What's your biggest goal in life?" And he's like, "I want to make a TikTok with Jackson Mahomes."
I figured that makes sense, and then go on a double date with Pat and Brittany. That'd be, the 2-for-1 special right there.
I don't know. They've been kind of quiet this year.
You know what would be really cool? She could show you the proper technique on how to dump champagne when it's freezing cold outside on the fans below her.
No, they've to their credit, to Patrick's credit, they have been very quiet this year. So
why do you think he can't stand the headaches?
But speaking of Week 14, Vic, what was your takeaway from Week 14?
That I know you guys were talking about it earlier, but Jared Goff has become that guy for the Lions. I mean, they've had the best offense now since week 8, as I sent you guys the what was it, the EPA, I think it was, that he's been the best drop back quarterback since week 8, and I think it's time for us to give him his flowers. I know a lot of people with what's happened this year with McVay, he was like, well, he's just a creation that McVay, and the reason the Rams were successful under him was because of McVay. I think it's time to give him some credit. Yes, as you talked about, Fernando, he's got a lot of good weapons around him. He's got probably the best offensive line in the league is between the Eagles and the Lions right now. Yeah. And so they've been able to protect him, and he's done well, and he's part of the reason why they won 4 out of 5 games. Yes, I know people criticize him for what happened in the Thanksgiving game against the Bills for not hitting that receiver late. But, at this point, he's not the reason they haven't been winning. It's not him. He's not the one that fumbled the ball. It was Jamal Williams late in the game. So for me, my biggest takeaway is that Jared Goff, and even the Lions came out and said that that he's the quarterback of their future. Whether or not that becomes a reality come this offseason, as Fernando talked about earlier, I would go get a quarterback. But for right now, I'm going to give him his flowers because he's proving people wrong.
But Vic, I appreciate that. We're out here decapitating kneecaps. You know what I mean? We're out here. We're trying to take teams out. You know what I mean? Jared Goff is our quarterback.
Real quick, Fernando, that's actually a good point there or a good debate for the future. I'm like, what if you keep building that roster around Goff for one more year and then you go out for Caleb Williams? How about that?
Caleb Williams. Oh, that's the USC.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Caleb Williams, but the thing is that you need to make sure that you have somebody already there. Because say that Jared Goff can't redo this magic next year. What are you gonna have? Like, you're gonna trust Caleb Williams to come in his rookie year and be like, "Hey, fix this mess." You're just doing exactly what every other coach there, because Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are outliers. The fact that they were able to come in their rookie year, play well, and sustain it is tough, and I don't think a lot of guys can do that. And that's because the Bengals and the Chargers already had good weapons coming into it. So maybe he could, but I wouldn't want to, because to get Jameson or to get Caleb Williams, you're gonna have a first overall pick. I think that kid will go first overall.
Well, that's why you trade away some picks this year, because you don't need them as bad, and you kind of get more. You pile up for next year. I don't know.
By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. The Eagles have a top 3 pick right now in the draft.
That's what smart teams do. They plan
Isn't
ahead.
That crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about like you give away the pick so that
they
later
have 2 picks this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that later maybe it turns into like the Eagles where you're a 10-17, but you have
and then when you have that number, say you have the number 4 pick from the Rams, and somebody wants a quarterback this year, you take all the draft picks because you believe in Goff for one more year.
I'm all for that. That's a smart idea. You mortgage it. You save it for the next season. If only another GM
you lease
it the way you do.
There you go.
I just want to say one thing before we move on to my takeaways.
Oh, I know what you want to say.
I think the both top boxes have disrespected coaches. The one to the top right disrespected the GOAT Bill Belichick. Still waiting on that apology. And the one above me
Emmanuel Acho
disrespected MCDC when he is trying to turn around an abysmal franchise, and he's only been there for about 2 years. What do you got to say now, my guy? That is starting to look a little bit better. It takes time. I understand. No one wants to wait, and I get it, but it's not easy. It's not like building a furniture in IKEA.
All right, what was your takeaway from week 14?
But real quick, I agree. I was a little too soon on the Dan Campbell slander. There you go.
Saying what? Meathead here and there, and I'm a meathead. Well, meatheads work, my guy.
They put it like you mentioned a good point, Dan. They go, sometimes you need the head coach just to be the leader of the ship, make sure everybody's doing their job. Don't be calling plays. And he has the good play callers right now. So I guess you're right.
That's all it is. You are the CEO, the face of the company. You have to be in all facets of the program without micromanaging.
That's why sometimes I don't like that head coaches call plays.
I don't like it. I don't like it either.
Like, why don't you focus on the team as a whole?
Exactly. And that's why a lot of people, criticize Dion. Dion's the same way. Great recruiter. He's the face of the franchise, just running the program, managing.
Dion may not know crap about what's going on the field, but he does well to manage exactly what he's doing. All right, what's your week 14 takeaway?
This is my week 14 takeaway. Let me get the voice ready. My week 14 takeaway is the person above me, that stooge, that scumbag, Humberto, covers the NFL for a living, and he is only one measly pick ahead of a one-eyed cat. One-eyed cat.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
You do, my friend. I just want to say that is my greatest takeaway of week 14.
Are you trying to say a one-eyed cat's not as smart as a two-eyed cat? Wow. Call PETA on this guy.
Yeah, call PETA. Tell PETA to send me a letter so I have something to wipe my ass with in the end. It'll be great.
That's your takeaway.
Thank you to Dan and Diego for transitioning to our next segment.
There you go.
Efficient. Talk about the picks. Tell them.
Very efficient there.
With our picks, as of right now, what are we doing?
There we go. They're right there.
Okay. All right. So here, read it from.
So here's the standings. Servidores 27 and 25.
Wow. How'd you pass me?
Dan and Diego's 31 and 21. Gilbert is 25 and 27. Vic, the producer's 30 and 22. So Dan and Diego's back as the lead dog. And Kirk, the one-eyed cat, is 28. Your week 14 results: Gilbert 2-2, Vic 2-2, Dan 4-0, Kirk 3-1, and I was 4-0 as well. So definitely,
you barely broke 500, and this cat was ahead of you again.
I'm gonna say the pressure is on because Fernando finally passed me. You were on last for a while. He's choking over here. Hopefully you're okay. And then now, like you mentioned, I'm
Go
close to the
check out
cat.
him.
Hey, Alberto, how you doing in the basement, my
But I
guy?
still think a one-eyed cat is just as able as a two-eyed cat, but whatever.
Yeah, thank you.
Capable, I mean.
He's not as capable as a two-eyed Hilberto.
Four eyes,
Spin zone.
apparently. Yeah.
There you go. That's true. All right, let's go now to Kirk's picks and let's see who he decided to go with this week. Kirk says, Hilberto, you want a challenge for me. I'm going to overtake you pretty soon. Jets and Lions. He's going to go Jared Goff. He says, Jared, let's go Lions. Next one, Patriots and Raiders. He's like, Papa's going to kick me out. I'm going to go Raiders. Next one, Bills and two. Oh, he's going to go for Tua's tuna. He does not think that the Bills are going to win. Wow. Cowboys and Jaguars. He's going to go Dak Prescott. Okay, those are some interesting picks by Kirk, the one-eyed cat. Vic, let's start off with you. Lions at Jets.
Oh, if I'm gonna talk good about Jared Goff, I'm gonna have to go with the Lions here.
Dan.
I'm going to pick the Lions too because the Jets have not played well, and I think the turmoil of who's starting quarterback is. I think that plays a bigger factor than everyone realizes.
Before I go,
DC and the Lions.
Before I go with Gilbert, is Mike White hurt? I saw something about him yesterday.
Ribs, but I suppose he's going to play. I think.
I didn't
mislead the public, but I think I saw
Gilbert.
about it.
Man, now the pressure's on. I need to be different here to catch up. And Mike White being hurt kind of worries me, but I remember Joe Flacco still there. Maybe a Zach Wilson. Come on, if you can't beat out Joe Flacco,
Manhattan MILF Hunter,
comeback game. You just said it right there. I believe in Zach Wilson. If he gets to start, he's fine, right? He's not hurt. I don't know why he's not being mentioned.
He just sucks.
Yeah, and they're at home. New York Jets are at home. They're due for a big win. Give me the Jets.
All right, I'm going to go with the Lions as well. I think that they have a lot to fight for.
Game right here.
You better be careful because you could fall further behind, my guy.
Well, the cat got the Lions too, right? So I could be definitely.
It's definitely 4-1 right now.
I'm going to go, my bad. Patriots at Raiders. Vic.
Here, I'm going to go with the homer pick here. I have no reason to. The only reason I'm probably going to go is because I think everybody else is going to go different. So I'm going to go with the Raiders here just to be different from you guys.
Dan.
This one's tough for me. They just got a nice little win on Monday night against, who do they play?
Arizona. The Cardinals.
Yeah, and the Cardinals have a lot of turmoil also. But I see this is my only hesitation of why I'm leaning a little bit more Raiders. I think the experiment of Patricia as the offensive coordinator has been a nightmare. And they haven't been consistent, but I don't trust Derek Carr either. But I'm going to go with Bill Belichick. I think he usually does well against assistants when they leave. Bill.
Yeah, there's some rumblings coming out of New England that Kraft and Belichick are not seeing eye to eye. Kraft is annoyed with Belichick not having a good coaching staff or a good plan for Mac Jones, so that could be an issue there. But I think Bill Belichick will be ready for McDaniels. He usually gets up for games like this, so give me the Patriots.
I'm going to go Raiders. Let's see. Cowboys at Jaguars. Gilbert, let's start off with you.
So they're at Jaguars, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man. It's like trap game here. But no, I think Cowboys make a statement and beat down the Jaguars.
I'm going to go with the Jaguars. Vic?
I'm going to go with the Jaguars too. I really like what Trevor Lawrence. I think since week
10 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been the best quarterback in the league rating wise. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars.
Gilbert or Dan and Dago.
Thank you for skipping me. It's all good. This one is this one I'm torn between also because I'm like, you know what? Dallas should be the better team. But I mean, they look like dog poo against the Texans. But then I'm worried. Exactly. But then I'm worried that the Jags are going to fall after the high.
Holy crap. This isn't a compare and contrast.
All right, just give me the. I'll take the Cowboys. I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll roll with
High five.
You're going with Gilbert almost in everything. Dolphins at Bills. Vic.
Sorry. give me the Bills. There won't be any heat warmers out there in Buffalo.
Dan.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills also.
Gilbert.
Yeah, easy. Buffalo Bills.
Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna go Buffalo Bills as well.
Yeah. The
That
psyche
means
of Miami right now is defeatist. I don't know
three
what's
losses in a
going
row
on
for
over there.
Miami.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
All right.
He's here.
Oh yeah.
Hear that, Dan
It
Diego?
is time.
What do I hear?
Time for burial of the week. Let's,
You can also. Oh no, I couldn't do the Paul Heyman voice.
let's go with
Who's
oh,
starting
this
with?
one's gonna be funny. Let's go with Vic.
All right, let's go. All right, so mine is the rest swallowing their whistles at Max Crosby in that fourth quarter game. Like, I'm sorry, like, the Rams deserve to win that game late in the game with but because Patrick Ram decided to play man to man instead of playing zone there. I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but on the other end, Max Crosby kept getting held over and over and over. Like it sucks to see how much the guy doesn't get the respect he deserves. And as Fernando and you guys have talked about earlier, you guys said that he doesn't deserve to be in the same class as Micah Parsons.
Hey, we didn't say all
and
that.
Nick Bosa.
We didn't
But
say all
like,
that.
no, that because what will keep him out of the Defensive Player of the Year award is because he doesn't have the record and he's playing on not as good of a team as the Niners and
You
the
didn't say terrible.
Cowboys. Yeah, they are not as good. But he doesn't get the same credit that he should get, and in terms of the referees calling those holding calls, especially now that Chandler Jones is playing really well. It sucks that he, on the other side now they're getting like, hey, Havenstein kept holding them every single play. It seemed like. So for me, that was it. I just want to give it's more of giving Max Crosby his flowers here because he's been really good this year. He was a 4th round pick and he's turned. The other two guys, Michael Parsons and Nick Bosa, were both first round picks. You expect this from them. Max Crosby came out of nowhere and he's become one of the best players in the NFL.
I give him respect though, because after the game, Heidi Fang Compa, she said she asked him, and he said, "No, I mean that's just how the cookie crumbles. We're not always gonna get those calls, especially
You
late
hear that,
in games."
Diego? You hear that, Diego?
He's like the refs
No
are.
crying.
He's like sometimes the refs are just staring at the actual play instead of looking around. Because sometimes that's always been my question.
The refs are
That's been
fans.
my question. Sometimes at the later games, like when Tom Brady is leading a fourth quarter comeback, are they even watching for penalties, or are they just watching in awe and going, "Oh my God, look at Tom like moving the ball down the field"? We don't know that. We're never gonna know. No referee will come out and say it. But I give Max Crosby says the correct things, and I think he really I commend him for what he said after the game. But he took the high road.
Also, too, Fernando, you probably sees Jerry Tiller right in front of him getting changed after the game. You're the reason why you cost the game with your freaking unsportsmanlike penalty.
By the way, shout out to Uncle Joe Reedy for having that stat ready to go about Jerry Tillery having 11 personal foul calls lead to first downs on third down.
The other part of it too is like, why are you playing man on Van Jefferson? Even Baker Mayfield was saying like, why are they doing it? Why are they pressing right now? Play zone.
A guy that had just shown up 2 days before.
Whatever.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Vic?
No, I was just gonna give you guys credit because I was like, so what am I not seeing from Jerry Tillery? He's like, you guys were like, just wait, it'll come. And let behold, it happened in the fourth quarter in a crucial time. So
yeah,
props to all three of you guys because you guys called it.
Wait till you watch him in the run game, you'll want to vomit, dude.
Dan, go ahead. What's your who do you want to bury?
Oh, my bury's the Buccaneers, dude. Just absolutely abysmal. They have looked lackluster all season. And I was doing my research, your boy Dan Indigo's a wee bit of a private detective over here. I was looking up Bruce Arians' record last year as a head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 13-3. 13-3, and they almost come back against the Rams who were on the road. So it's just unbelievable to me. Mind you, this is only rumor. But if the rumors that Brady was tired of Arians and all this other stuff was true, and that's what moved him up there, I think it was a huge mistake. Now you're paying the consequences because this team looks lost. I mean, they might not have the structure that they did under Arians. I don't know what the difference is, But, this team has been underperforming all year, which everyone thought was a Super Bowl contender. You can almost bet your ass Tom Brady's out of there for sure after this. So it's just terrible. You go from first to worst.
And Gilbert panicked last week and threw him back into his Super Bowl contention list. Well,
no. I said I took him off for
There
the
he is.
Cowboys. I
The
did a
curse.
trade.
The curse lives. The
Took
curse
him off
lives.
for the Cowboys. And also, too, the Buccaneers just scream one and done. They're going to win that crappy division. The Panthers are in the race, by the way. That's how bad it is. But they're going to be a one and done team because they're a terrible roster.
Panthers look good against Seattle yesterday, but that's just when you take away the running game from Geno Smith.
Yeah. They're one-dimensional.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You can't, if you have a good quarterback, you can't be one-dimensional and make them throw 50 times. Same if you have a good running game, you can't be one-dimensional and run it 50 times. Like, you have to try and be some form of balanced and get everybody involved, or else it doesn't work.
All right. Now it's time for the shovel to come out and for Berto to bury somebody. Who are you burying?
I'll make mine quick because Dan and Victor have some good ones here. And I probably shouldn't complain because I'm not going to be in the fantasy football playoffs. I'm just bitter. I've lost like 6 in a row. I'm the Rams before they have Baker. I got to find my Baker, right? But to have 6 teams on bye week in a week
that was
14,
weird.
Is that the first time it's ever happened? Because it seemed why do you have maybe 2 teams? 4, yeah. I get it. It's a long season, but 6 teams on a bye
week.
Why
so late?
Why so late? And then do they care about fantasy football? Do they care about fantasy football here? No. Because everybody's trying to fight for the playoffs. And I have I know I bashed Alvin Kamara, but he's on my bench because he's not playing this week. I was fighting for my lives here, and I lost to Victor. Okay, I hate fantasy football. I don't know why. I just hate it, but that was a dumb thing for 6 teams in week 14.
I'm gonna do it. So no, it was for me. So on the Pat McAfee show, they tried calling Aaron Rodgers. They tried calling Aaron Rodgers. And they're like, dude, what the hell? Yeah. Like, why isn't he answering? Yeah. And it was because he was on his bye week. And they're like, screw them. He's like, who has bye weeks in this late into December? Like, who does? Like, Christmas is next week. The playoffs are in 4 weeks, and you're still having bye weeks. But like you said, for fantasy football purposes, the NFL loves fantasy football. Why the hell would you allow so many teams to go into their bye week right now? It's ridiculous, but I completely agree with you.
Imagine waiting 14 weeks to get a bye week. You're beat up.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. One more point. Even at the Arizona Cardinals, they weren't on HBO Hard Knocks because they had a bye week late in the year.
It's so tough.
That's hilarious.
Oh wow,
that's so bad. So my burial is the Miami Dolphins, and not for the reasons that you believe. Yesterday, it was about 60 degrees at SoFi Stadium. I actually went down into the stands because one of my buddies was there and I hadn't seen him in about a year. So I wanted to go say hi to him. And I was like, oh, okay, this is actually not bad weather for the Dolphins. It felt like they were in the South Pole because they had heat, they had hand warmers, heat warmers, they had all kinds of stuff. Miami Dolphins, do you know where you're heading next week? You're heading to Buffalo. Do you know it's going to be 33 degrees?
Green Bay's colder.
It's not Green Bay.
And potentially snowing. Green Bay's going to be a lot colder. But you're going to face all the elements next weekend in Buffalo. I don't know if they were maybe preparing for the Buffalo weather, but California weather is not a good preparation. So stop being soft. Like, don't be using heaters and stuff like that. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, get out of here with that stuff.
Fernando, in all fairness, usually California is a sunny place, but I think South Beach is a little warmer than LA at this time.
Well, yeah, it definitely is. But come on, like, you're going to Buffalo next week, so definitely. And I mean, they spent the whole week out here at UCLA training and working out and everything. So I don't know. I thought that was a little weird. All right, guys, it's time to move on to Avocado Roast. Let's see. Obviously, let's go, and I'm going to ask you guys, who is your favorite Christmas holiday movie character? I'm going to go with Vic.
Can you go with Gilbert real quick?
Yes,
let's start with Gilbert. Sorry.
So I don't listen too well, or maybe I don't know how to read. Take a shot, Dan, if you want at me. But you said movies. Oh, you said show. But / Thank you for accommodating to your boy here.
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna break the rules here. But Frank Costanza, the father of George, Mr. George, he created Festivus. It's a Festivus miracle. If you're a fan of Seinfeld, One of the best Christmas episodes of all time is the Festivus one for the rest of us. And the errands of grievances, we should do that here. Actually, maybe do that next week during the Christmas show special. Plug, because I got a lot of things to say. It could be like the beer of the week. He usually
you could do it like CM
You're gonna be
Punk.
bearing stuff during Christmas, you a-hole?
That's the type of Christmas I want. And Frank Costanza, instead of a Christmas tree, it's a pole. You bring a pole, you have dinner, and then you bring people together, and then you say, I got a lot of problems with you people.
Let me guess, somebody dances on the pole too.
No, it's not that type
Alberto.
of party,
Alberto, just grab the mic.
He doesn't want Santa to show up. He wants Belschnickel to show up.
Belschnickel. I will judge you. Yeah. Have you been impish?
Impish or fair?
Impish or admirable?
I don't know what you're talking about, but this is my moment. But you could bring that guy to the party, Festivus, and we will also bury them. So Frank Costanza, father is George. George hates Festivus, but Kramer and Jerry, they all love it. And also George's boss in the episode loved it.
You should grab the mic. You should grab the mic. Oh, my bad.
No. Go ahead. Finish it.
I was gonna say, grab the mic like CM Punk and be like, I have a lot of things.
There you go.
I gotta get off my chest. My bad.
We were talking about in The Office when Dwight dresses up as Belschnickel, and he starts whipping Jim with the with whatever with the switches or whatever he has.
He's been impish.
Well, he was trying to leave the party to go back to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
All right, Vic.
All right, mine is Chris Brander from Just Friends, who is, if you don't know, if you haven't seen Just Friends, it's a really good, funny movie. As my partner here is laughing. For me, it's Chris Brander. If you want to look him up and see who that is, he goes from gaining a bunch of weight and then losing. Comes back with Anna Faris character.
That's a good movie.
And for me, he's just hilarious. His face and expressions are just out of
the kitty sweaters awesome. And all that.
The kitty sweaters and the song. I swear, like it's. He's my favorite character. It's one of those things I'll always watch that movie just because of it. Because honestly, he just kills it. So that's for me.
I didn't understand. I didn't get the name at first, but then when you said I'm like, oh, okay. I remember that's a really good movie. Dan,
I love The Grinch. The Grinch to me is my favorite Christmas movie. It's so quotable and everything else. I just love everything about it. Jim Carrey, weirdo, but he did a great job in that film and everything else. I absolutely love that movie. The Grinch always makes me laugh with his quotes and everything else. I just always enjoy it, even though the Grinch. Then it's like one of the best character arcs and story arcs. Hates it, ends up loving it, and saves it. So there you go. Love it.
I'm gonna go Kevin McAllister. I think he obviously he ends up he wishes his family disappears. I know sometimes during the holiday season we wish our family disappears. It did end up happening. But then he notices, he's like, you know what? This is my house. I have to defend it. And he takes on two grown adults, and he ends up beating them both up, but making them look like they're stupid. So definitely Kevin McAllister is the man. And then obviously all he wanted was just a cheese pizza. And nobody would let him enjoy a cheese pizza. That's how this movie gets started. Don't let anybody. Buzz is the real enemy in all of this. If he would have just let him enjoy his cheese pizza, everything would have been all right.
That's why he grew up to be Jigsaw later. That's the start of a villain.
Oh my God.
That's why.
All right. Now let's head over to underrated Christmas movie villains / show for Gilbert, I guess. But Vic, let's go. Let's start off with you.
I'm going to go, since you were just talking about Home Alone, I'm going to go with Uncle Frank. I mean, he refuses to pay for pizza, even though you're getting a free trip to Paris, and he's always complaining about Kevin McAllister.
What the hell? What this man they're talking about? I wonder who could be, because I know the shadiest man you ever did see. When they see me walking down the street, I say, hey.
That's wild. I don't know how you memorize that.
I was actually...
Hey, you little.
I got a picture right now with the.
Hey, you nosy little pervert! I'm gonna slap you silly. You're cooking.
That's the only thing you were gonna say.
Oh my god!
And
Sorry, Vic.
last
I'm sorry. I
last
just love
last
that
thing
song.
he compares leaving a child home alone to forgetting a pair
Yeah.
of reading glasses.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's
He hated that kid.
terrible. I mean, come on. Yeah, for me, he is a underrated villain.
That's a good one.
I love when everybody freaks out when they find Kevin and he's just sitting on the bed still with no care in the world. They had found him. Dan, I'm gonna go with you.
Here's one that might get me some flack, but that's all right. Tim Allen, Santa Claus, 100% total
Excuse me.
scumbag before he became Santa Claus. Think about it, Frau, right? I think at first he didn't spend a lot of time with the son, if I remember correctly. Then on top of that, he kills Santa. Bastard kills him off his roof because he makes him slip, fall, everything else. And he refuses to take responsibility and do the job until they essentially abduct him, make him gain weight, and just completely change him. So
He
essentially,
was gained the weight
way
before it actually happened.
That's all right, because he tried to run away, and that's how they did it. They made him overweight, changed his hair, and all this other stuff, and they essentially brainwashed him and abducted him.
No,
back
no,
to
it
the
wasn't a
North Pole.
brainwash.
Yeah, it was because it wasn't by choice. He had no choice in the matter. His only choice was death if he wanted to not be Santa Claus.
discovering.
Essentially, nope,
All right.
nope. Kill
But-
Santa Claus, Rao. Didn't want to do it. Didn't want to do it.
Yeah, you believe Bill Belichick and Bill Belichick.
Wow.
Are you
Gilbert-
serious?
Backtrack
Are we
early
gonna do
here.
this right now? Are we going to do this right now about Billy Belichick?
No.
Serious?
Gilbert, go ahead.
Avocado roast.
There's no
Gilbert-
Tom Brady without Bill Belichick for now. I'll tell you that. There's none.
Okay.
He
There's
just won
none.
in Tampa Bay.
He
Gilbert,
would
go
have
ahead.
been buried on a roster at
Okay.
199 somewhere else. Or
Hey,
whatever.
it's,
We're waiting for Gil.
it's my time. And just for that, I'm gonna give you an extra because you said you want a movie, right? Billy Bob Thornton, Bad Santa, good character for Christmas
Safe.
movies, but not a villain. Not a villain. He's just a realist guy. But my villain, not yet, Fernando, not yet. My villain or underrated villain, there you go, underrated key. The staff at the Plaza Hotel in New York City.
Yes.
This gummy hotel where they're forcing tips. You know, Rob Schneider,
Yeah.
where one of the
Cedric?
one of the main guys is the Grinch smile because he knows he's just evil. I forgot the guy's name.
Mr. Hector.
Mr. Hector.
He's
You know
Pennywise
how-
in the actual It movie.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why they're very underrated villains. And the biggest reason why they let Donald Trump stay at their hotel. Scumbags. Biggest villains.
He owns the
Underrated.
hotel.
It's a
Yeah.
Plaza Hotel. It was not the Trump Hotel.
No, he
No,
owned
that's
it
why
at
he
the
did a
time.
cameo.
Yeah.
Oh.
He owned
Never
the
mind.
he owned the Plaza Hotel.
Well, now I know why the staff stinks. Thanks for being the fact checker of the segment, Fernando. There you go. But
Oh, 'cause I
forcing
love
that
that.
tip, Rob Schneider was like this, makes me laugh.
Oh no, I love when he's like, I have some tip left over. And
The
he
gum.
brings out the wallet cash. No tip? Okay.
Just the gum.
Exactly. You had a fun fact about Rob Schneider.
Yeah, so he was filming SNL at the time, and the reason his name is Cedric is he actually borrowed somebody's uniform, and that's the guy's name was Cedric, and that's why his name is Cedric
There you
in the
go.
movie. So yeah,
Cedric, don't count your tips in public.
How do you memorize all these?
Dude, those movies, as Dan, I watch them like 6 or 7 times during Christmas. I love them. But
Oh, yeah, we
speaking
love 'em.
about who I am going to bury, it was all about this in the movie for Howard
Yes.
Langston. He wanted a
Jamie?
Turbo Man doll for his son. And the incredible part is he impersonates a police officer. He hits a police officer. He hits a police officer's motorcycle. He commits fraud and because he goes and he buys one on the black market from the Santa Clauses. He lights stuff on fire. He impersonates the actual Turbo Man character. He beats up on the poor demon team, and he does all this just for this toy.
And he
For his
prevents
kids.
a struggling mailman from giving that toy to his son.
Exactly.
Hey, Fran, why don't you open it and press the button to
No.
let your,
No.
let your stereo time or whatever it was.
No.
By the way, the
He's a
son in that
terrible
movie turned out to be Fernando as an adult.
It's fine. It's fine. I've always wanted one as a kid. No one ever bought one for me, so I did it myself.
You know, Could you imagine your anger? You open it, you press the button, and all it says,
Cheap
"Es
one.
tiempo del hombre."
Spanish
it's
Turbo Man.
fun and educational. but then at the same time, he neglected his son. He neglected his wife. That's why the neighbor was moving
Tom
on
Arnold?
in.
Who
He was
was it?
trying to. His neighbor's Phil
Ted.
Ted. But
Yes.
he died.
You're thinking of the actor,
He
I
was
think.
murdered. His
Yeah.
wife was bipolar. He was asleep and she shot him.
In the
Phil
face.
Hartman.
Yeah, Phil Hartman. He was
Yeah.
he was a
Not a
really good
fun fact.
actor. Yeah,
Nope,
so
not
it
a
was
fun fact.
pretty interesting. But the movie, it's just a well put together movie. I love that movie. But
Can-
Howard Langston, you're a villain.
Can I test you real quick, Fernando? Because you're the
Oh, and then he
trivia
hit
here.
a reindeer. He punches a
Oh, yeah.
reindeer in the
He
face.
punches- No, see, no more. What is the
And
name of that
gives him
character?
beer.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the name of the character that's with the little pink thing, the big pink thing?
Booster.
There you go.
Booster.
Damn, you're good.
No one likes you, Booster.
Yeah, I don't want to
Dude,
boost.
I just love that he's smoking and drinking before he even goes out there.
No,
The cameos too in that movie. I mean, we were watching it right before because you brought it up, and we were like, "Oh, who's that?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, it's." I'm sorry. He's a really good. It's a really good pick by Fernando, and so we started watching it, and Bernd Troyer is in it. A mini me. I mean, there's
Oh, wow.
other
Yeah.
he's in it. He's part of the Santa the Big Show. He's the
Oh,
big.
yeah, he's a big. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
I'm gonna
big,
deck your halls, bub.
yeah. So there's
One day we're gonna host a viewing party with the compas watching Jingle All the Way.
That'd be hilarious.
I would
Which,
actually.
by the way, speaking of mini-me, we recently saw the Austin Powers movies. They don't get enough credit. Those things were hilarious, well put together.
Shout out Austin Powers.
Shout out.
Definitely well put together. Well, we appreciate you guys for jumping on with us. Vic, great to see you. Great to see that you're good to go, and obviously only getting better. Dan, it's good to see that there's no Whiskey Sour Wednesday.
None.
You're good to go. So
Good vibes only this week.
so definitely exciting. But we're gonna let you guys go. And Gilbert, you're gonna be disappointed in me. I actually have
That's
nothing
it?
for Una Mas this
We're
week.
going home. We're going home.
I actually have nothing. I don't know why. I'm ill prepared. I have nothing for you. No, and you think it's a joke, but I really have like
I do. You have something.
no, I don't. I swear. I really don't have anything this week. I will try and be better next week, unless you have something.
I don't know. Maybe next week I'll send you a picture of me in the cold in Lambeau Field. You could post it on here and make fun of you.
That'd be beautiful. I honestly, but yeah. Obviously, guys, we appreciate you guys so much for checking out this episode. Next week, we'll be having a holiday special episode of Compas. Come and chill by the fire with your compas. Get some of those. You know what I like? I like some of those the hot chocolate balls, the ones that you drop into the milk and they like explode and they get into your hot chocolate. I don't know if you've tried those.
No
Gilbert.
idea what that is.
Those are actually pretty good. You should try them. They're at Costco. They're on sale.
I just had Chumparrado if you want to mention that too.
Oh, there you go, Chumparrado. There you go. There's Vic, the producer, does a great job with all the backgrounds. It's a Christmas show with your compas. So we'll definitely be it'll be exciting to do something cool like that. And don't forget to check out everything else. Obviously, we have some other compas on the beat network shows. We have What's Up Bolts with Dan and Dago and myself. We broke down exactly what happened after what happened with the Dolphins Chargers game. There's still some things that I'm a little bit concerned about with this team moving forward, especially scoring in the second half. They're just not scoring the football, and that could be concerning, especially with some of the teams coming up that they're going to face, and some of the potential teams that they're going to face if they do end up making the playoffs. First up would be Kansas City as of right now, and Kansas City is going to score in the fourth quarter, so definitely that's something to keep an eye on. House of Horns is back after taking a couple of days off because they had a Thursday night football game. Victor, the producer's back. Gilbert and him will be breaking down all things Rams versus the Green Bay Packers. How many coats will Gilbert take? That's going to be something that's going to be, I'm sure, discussed. How many pairs of underwear? How much of all of his clothes will he wear on top of each other to layer up? That'll be something. And then Compas FC, because of the busy schedule over the weekend, we were not able to do Elite Eight review, but we will be doing the semifinal review on Wednesday night, so be on the lookout for that. who is left, who is going to the World Cup final. We will have all that for
Not
you guys.
Cristiano Ronaldo, by the way.
That was BS. That was a BS game. Fernando Santos messed all that up. But don't worry, the referees have Messi covered with everything that he needs. But he believes that the referees were against him. Obviously, we have so much more for you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. Gilbert and I will be doing more on Comeback Compas as the year starts to finish out. We're going to be doing some more stuff. And don't forget, we appreciate the partnership with Homage. Don't forget to go check out all their stuff, NFL tees, Chargers tees, Rams tees. They got everything that you want, everything that you need. Great stuff. Definitely go check out all their gear. They got WWE stuff as well. And like I said, my favorite shirt, if you guys want to gift me something, my favorite shirt was the Pingo was my first crush. So definitely that's they have some great stuff over on Homage. Go check that stuff out. We're so excited about it. And we appreciate you guys so much for rocking with us. Don't forget, be a compa, tell a compa, tell them what your compas are doing. We appreciate you guys so much. We're definitely grateful for you guys watching every single week. Thank you guys so much. But Gilbert, anything to say?
No, I need to get ready, prepare myself, temperature wise. Maybe I'm gonna start every day this week with cold showers just to get ready, Fernando. Maybe I should try on some of my favorite beanies and figure out which one I'm gonna pack for this trip to Green Bay. But I'm worried, but I'll get there. I'm gonna have fun. Never been in Lambeau. Should be a good one.
Are you like what's the one thing that you fear about this, about the cold?
Yeah, besides freezing, driving on the icy roads. We'll see how that goes. But Dan and Dago already said that if I need him, just kind of put up the Dan Dago sign in the sky.
Bat signal.
Yeah, there we go. Bat signal, Dan Dago signal.
For you guys watching at home, this is gonna be Gilbert when it comes to
That's gonna be me for sure. And Fernando, you don't care about listeners on the audio. But what movie we're watching right here?
We're watching Cool Runnings. It's the part when they get to, I think it's Canada, and Sanka's putting everything on.
Yep, that's
Here's
gonna be
Gilbert.
me for sure. Oh man.
Psychoman, what you smoking? I'm not smoking. I'm breathing.
That's perfect. All right. Hopefully we don't get a copyright claim, Fernando.
I hope not, but hey, we're just having fun. It's a Christmas time, like that's
Yeah,
a good
you two
clip.
people.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Chill
overlords.
out. Exactly. So that was that's such a good clip. But again, guys, we appreciate you. We nothing. I'm breathing. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys again for checking us out. Be a compa, tell a compa, like, subscribe, comment. Let us know if you have any questions, what you guys like, what you guys don't like, and we'll definitely incorporate it. We appreciate you guys so much. Gilbert, for the time being, ¿sabes qué? Vámonos.
It's Christmas time. I'm in the spirit, Fernando. Ya nos vamos, pues, vámonos.